And we're back. Folks, we are really winding up this first paper we have here with the short fiction piece. You have turned it in and you've been doing the peer reviews, and now it is time for you to turn in the second draft. Now, what I mean by second draft is you've done the peer reviews, you've gotten the response from your peers, and you've revised it accordingly. Now, you're going to submit that second draft to me. I will go over it, and then I will give you some other pointers on how to make it all that it can be. That'll be your final revision. And then you will turn it in to me again, and that'll be your final draft. So as you can see, you have a lot of instances where you can make the paper all that it needs to be. Now, we're going to be moving in the meantime, to the poetry phase. Okay, remember, we're looking into 3 different types of literature for this class: short fiction, poetry, and dramatic theater. Okay, we're getting into poetry, and a lot of people don't understand the importance of poetry. A lot of people, as a matter of fact, are very intimidated by poetry. I don't understand what it means, and so on and so forth. A lot of times, you have a good idea, but you don't have the confidence to speak out on it, because poetry really deals with a lot of metaphors and symbolism, where you're not necessarily sure what it can mean. However, a lot of times, I would say most of the time, all great literature has at least 2 ways of looking at it. At least 2 ways. So if you feel that you feel crazy for how you look at it like this: a broken clock is right at least twice a day. Now, with that being said, we're going to be going into one, how to analyze a poem. It's a link I have for you to help you better understand the different ways that you can look at a poem. All right, and with that, you'll get to see just how prevalent poetry really is in our society. A lot of people, like I said, well, I don't really do poetry, I don't like poetry, I don't understand it. Look at it like this: what are lyrics to a song? Poetry. What is rap? It's poetry. Poetry is very important because it is the most compact and quickest way to tell a story. You could write a novel. That's a lot of time. That's a lot of pages. Okay. If you were standing on the street corner, you would have a better chance of being able to recite a poem to somebody than have them stop right there and read a novel you wrote. Better yet, you would have a better chance of them listening to a poem as opposed to you even showing them your short fiction story. Okay, so poetry has been around for a long time, and it's not going anywhere, mainly because of the compact nature of the form. You can take it anywhere, quick, fast, in a hurry, and pow, you've got your meaning, you're moving on to the next thing. Now, because it's such a compact and dense, usually, art form, that means even more than with fiction. The writer must be that much more careful with the words that they choose, because they don't have that much space. So whatever it is they put there, they have to mean it. An artist has to really be careful when it comes to writing poetry. Now, if they're sloppy and they're just going for your freestyle type situation, that's something else. I'm not talking about that. A lot of people like to, try to come off with the free verse type situation, mainly because they don't understand the different forms of poetry. And the different forms of poetry, they do have a lot of benefits. If you think of a haiku, which is only 3 lines, it forces you to really choose your words carefully, all the way down to syllables. So, you're going to be checking out how to analyze a poem. It's a great link. Then I give you a link on poetic terms that you're going to see, and that's very, very important. Why? Because you're going to be using those terms to discuss whatever poem you're going to eventually write a paper on, and because there will be a quiz. Yes, there will be a quiz. Do not get it twisted. I'm quizzing you on it. Now, as you check out these 2 things, you'll see that there are a lot of literary terms actually that are shared. between fiction, poetry, and also between dramatic theater, symbolism. You have your imagery, you have your metaphor, you have alliteration. All of these things can be found in each and every form. So it only makes sense that you really become ingrained and comfortable with those particular literary devices. Now, after that, we're really going to watch the rubber hit the road, because you're going to have a couple links that I want you to check out. One is The Art of the Metaphor. It's really going to give you a good understanding of how to use metaphor if you were to write a poem yourself, and how to better understand it in all forms, because there are people who use metaphors. Wow, my phone is going off. Can you believe this? How rude is that? Yeah, how about that? Anyway, you're going to do The Art of Metaphor. That's going to show you how to really appreciate metaphors. Then you're going to use one on metaphor, imagery, and language. And then finally, you're going to start getting into some of the poems that we're going to be looking at. The poem is called On My First Son. That is going to be the last assignment for this week. So let's get busy and let's enjoy ourselves, and let's learn something. See ya. Pew.